Welcome to day 102 of our school year. Get that filled in. All right, let's get down our beginning fraction. We have a total of 180 school days, and we are on day 102. So let's go ahead and find the factors of our numerator, 102. Two factors we always know are 1 and the number itself. Using the commutative property of multiplication, I can do 102 times 1. Now I'm going to go through my divisibility rules in order. After 1, we try 2. The rule for 2 is that it ends in an even number. It does end in an even number, so 2 is a factor. 2, I have 10 tens, so half of 10 tens is 5 tens. Half of 2 is 1. Okay, then that commutative property. Next we try 3. The rule for 3 is that we add the digits together. 1 plus 0 plus 2 is 3. 3 is a multiple of 3, so 3 is a factor. I can get 3 groups of 3 tens, which is 90 out of 100. That leaves 12, and so that would be 4. Next we look at 4. If we look at the second factor with 2, we see if that's even. It is odd, so 4 is not a factor. We try 5. The rule for 5 is that it ends in a 0 or 5. It ends in a 2, so 5 is not a factor. We try 6. The rule for 6 is that both 2 and 3 are factors. Both of them are, so 6 is a factor. I can get 10 sixes out of 100. That leaves 42, which is 7. Okay, then we try 7. 7 times 10 is 70. 77, 84, 91, 98, 104. 102 is not in that list, so 7 is not a factor. We try 8. 8 times 10 is 80. 88, 96, 104. 102 is not in that list, so 8 is not a factor. Let's try 9. 9 has the same rule as 3. We add the digits together. We get 3. 3 is not a multiple of 9, so 9 is not a factor. We try 10. The rule for 10 is that it ends in a 0. It ends in a 2. So 10 is not a factor. We try 11. 11 times 9 is 99, and then we have 110. 102 is not in that list, so 11 is not a factor. I think 17 may be prime. When we've gone in order and our second factor is prime, we're done. So let's check to see. And yes, 17 is prime. So that means we've found all our factors, because 17 can't break down into any other factors. So we have 1, 2, we list them from least to greatest, 3, 6, 17, 34, 51, 102. So we have 8 factors. That's more than 2 factors, so it is composite. Now we need to find our greatest common factor. Well, we only have 78 school days left, so I can't make a group of 102. So let's try 51. Okay, 50 plus 1. 9 plus 40 is 49, plus 2 is 51. 40 plus 8 plus 3 is 51. And it looks like we have 27 left over, so 51 does not work. Let's try 34. That's next. So 34. 30 plus 4 26 plus 8, 32 plus 2. Your groups don't have to look like mine, but you do have to keep the shaded separated from the unshaded, so we don't have fractions and fractions. And you do want to make sure there's 34 in each. So 28 plus 2 is 30, plus 4 more is 34. And then 34. Looks like I have 10 left over. So 34 did not work. Let's try 17. 10 plus 7 is 17. 3 plus 10 is 13. Plus 4 is 17. 6 plus 10 is 16. Plus 1 is 17. 9 plus 8 is 17. 2 plus 10 plus 5 is 17. 5 plus 10 plus 2 is 17. 8 plus 9 is 17. 1 plus 10 is 11, plus 6 is 17. 4 plus 10 is 14, plus 3 is 17. And 7 plus 10 is 17. I still have 10 left over, so that means 17 is not our greatest common factor. So let's try 6. Groups of 6. So I'm going to take and cut 4 off of each of these 10s to make groups of 6. You don't have to do it this way. Just make sure there's 6 in each group. We want to keep the shaded separated from the unshaded. Okay, and then I'm going to do 2 times 3, I know, is 6. And then I have 4, 5, 6. There's many different ways you can make your groups. You just have to make sure they're equal groups. They have to have 6 in each. And everything is in a group of 6. So that means 6 is our greatest common factor. Let's go ahead and count up our total groups of 6. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 total groups. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 shaded in. Alright, so now we've done our division with our model. Let's go ahead and use our algorithm to prove it in a different way. And we're dividing into groups of 6. Because that's our greatest common factor. So 180 divided by 6, and 102 divided by 6. I'm going to do 20 times 6, because that's easy for me to multiply by. Placeholder moves it over a place. 2 times 6 is 12. Numbers the same, zeros a game. More on top, no need to stop. Numbers the same, zeros a game. And then 10 times 6 is 60. Numbers the same, zeros a game. Add these together. 20 plus 10 is 30. Okay, here 10 times 6 is 60. We're on top, no need to stop. And then here 10 take away 6 is 4. Do 5 times 6, which is 30. We're on top, no need to stop. We're on top, no need to stop. And 2 times 6 is 12. Numbers the same, 0 is the game. Now you may have noticed that 7 times 6 is 42, so you could have already gotten to the answer at this level right here. But in case you didn't know your 7s that well, you still can get it by using your 5s and your 2s. Add up our partial quotients. 10 plus 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17. Now we need to check using our inverse operation. Divisor times quotient plus remainder, divisor times quotient plus remainder. Since our remainder is 0 for both, and the identity property of addition says when you add 0, it stays the same, we don't need to actually add the 0. 3 groups of 0 is 0. I'm sorry, 6 groups of 0 is 0. 6 groups of 3 tens is 18 tens. 6 groups of 7 is 42, so I put the 4 tens in the tens place and the 2 ones down here. 6 groups of 10 is 6 tens, plus 4 more tens is 10 tens, or 100. So 102, that matches our dividend up here, so that checks. 180, that matches our dividend up here, so that checks. So that means our numerator is definitely 17. And our denominator is definitely 30. All right, let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. Okay, trimester 2, week 9. Today is 1/31/2020. And our fraction for today is 17/30. Okay, we did groups of 6. So let's go ahead and get out our number line. The last one we have is 15/30. So we're going to get down 16/30, which is equivalent to 8/15. That is the simplest form, or equivalent fraction in lowest terms. It's also equivalent to 48/90. And then today is 17/30. There are no lines below it because it is the simplest form or equivalent fraction in lowest terms. But there is an equivalent fraction in the 3's and the 2's because both 2 and 3 are common factors, but 6 is our greatest common factor. All right, let's go ahead and put your number line away, erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.